Sorry.
Many of us have either watched a film, show, or have even purchased merchandise from this company. They are very popular and prosperous in their industry. From movies to channels to theme parks and much more, Disney has in a way taken over the world in many ways. All its success was not always the case though. Walt Disney started very humble in California in 1923 in a small office space that named Disney Productions in a wooden plank. Established by Walt Disney and Roy Disney, they first released Alice comedies and later Laugh-O-Grams that eventually made him go bankrupt. After he went bankrupt, he was very let down and upset with himself, and he then created Oswald the Rabbit that he actually did not have rights to and later lost them after making 100 mini episodes. After that, he created Mortimer Mouse that he realized that that name was not sticking, so he made it into Mickey Mouse, which many of us know very well, and also created all the classic characters that we all know of: Pluto, Goofy, Donald Duck, and Minnie. After moving to Burbank, California, Disney released its first full-length video that actually took 3 years to produce, which is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1937. This film was worldwide received and had a lot of success. With all the revenue that was accepted from this movie, he was actually able to make a studio for Disney Productions that was much larger than what he already had. He was actually very prominent in this project. He created a lot of the designs and was able to be there during the construction of this production. During World War II, of course, there was not a lot of action going on, but he actually helped do propaganda for people to support World War II. And a lot of animations with Donald Duck and Mickey playing out like if they were in the war. After the war, which was left with limited staff and very small revenue, Disney produced mostly small packaged films, which was short series of collections, such as The Three Caballeros, Melody Time, and Vanishing Prairie. After that, he released such as Cinderella, Bambi, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Fantasia, which is a classic movie, and proved that he was still a productive filmmaker. During this time, live-action films were also produced, like Treasure Island, The Story of Robin Hood and His Merry Men, and The Sword and the Rose. In 1954, ABC Network launched Disney's first regular television series named Disneyland, which later made him have a very good relationship with this network that he later bought, which we all know of. Disney actually owns ABC Network nowadays. After the show Disneyland, he created Disneyland, where his vision was for children and adults to all have fun together and to be able to do things that entertain them. On July 17, 1955, Disneyland was previewed on television to the worldwide public, hosted by Ronald Reagan. Even though it did have a rough beginning, Disneyland grew and attracted very many visitors from all over the country, and eventually he had the first monorail. During this time, Sleeping Beauty, Lady and the Tramp, and 101 Dalmatians were successful productions during this time. 1966 to 1976 actually ends the era of Walt Disney and Roy Disney. Walt Disney died of lung cancer on December 15, 1966. This led for Roy Disney to become the CEO and the chairman of Disney World. After that, Walt Disney World was opened, which was called Disney World, and his brother named Walt Disney World in honor of him. That was actually a secret that he was keeping and open after he passed. So the last two films that Walt actually actively supervised were The Jungle Book and The Happiest Millionaire. Roy Disney later died 5 years later on December 20th, 1971. After both their deaths, They had been looking for the company for several people to look over and to be the chairmen of it, but Disney continued to grow, with parks growing many more movies, including the establishment of Disney Channel that launched in the 80s, and the purchase of ABC Network, as I said before. From humble beginnings to many ups and downs, Disney has managed to still make a way in many children's hearts, from classics to theme parks. That is the history of Disney's company. And now, as we all know, they have very many movies that, unlike the classics, that kids still enjoy now, like Frozen and Pirates of the Caribbean. So Disney has been a very funded, beautiful production that has created lots of revenues for everyone to be part of.